From families with legacies to legacies just beginning, we cover all this and more in our countdown of top 10 elite families who secretly rule the world. Though how secretly, we'll find out. Before we hop into today's video, I gotta talk about our sponsor, G2A. Are you bored of your games and are looking for something new to get your hands on? Well, guess what? G2A is here for you. They have massive deals on computers, video games, accessories, gaming hardware, you name it. Some even as much as 90% off. And if you want to get a head start on Christmas or the holidays in general, this is the time. So what are you waiting for? Start holiday shopping early or just treat yourself. Check out the link in the description to get even more of a discount. Number 10, the Ambani Family. Someone mentioned this family in the comments last time, so here we are. Let's chat, shall we? With a net worth of $44.8 billion, they are listed as one of Asia's most rich families. Dhirubhai Ambani is the man behind the legacy. As a teen, he demonstrated strong skills in retailing and selling oil. In order to support his family, he began importing spices and fabric, which later became Reliance Commercial Corporation, the now billion-dollar company. Like, what? He had two sons named Mukesh and Anil who took over the company, but due to a falling out, the empire has since been divided. His son Mukesh Ambani now owns the company, however, and it hasn't suffered for it, and in 2017 the company soared due to better refining margins. Reliance also sparked an oil and gas price war in India's hyper-competitive telecom market. I believe I said something about having a hand in oil means you've got a hand on the world. That remains to be true. Number 9, the Bush family. The Bush family is an American dynasty, as you can probably already guess from the name. The family is best known for their involvement with politics. The Bushes have various national and state offices spanning across 5 generations. There was US Senator Prescott Bush, Jeb Bush, as well as of course George W. Bush. That's not what he sounds like, but anyways, you get my point. Other family members are involved in sports, hitting touchdowns in the NFL, politics, sports, America. So it's pretty clear that they have their hands deeply rooted in the soil of the USA, the one of, if not the most powerful country in the world. Through 5 wealthy and powerful generations, the wealth of the Bush family has expanded across investment bankers, magazine publishing, remember what I said about media in the last video, the Supreme Court, justice, the railroad, on top of everything else previously mentioned. Yeah, so is it a secret that they kind of rule the world? Not really, because when you've got your fingers in so many pies, you might as well just be the whole bake sale. Number 8, the Bettencourts. The estimated net worth of the Bettencourts is over $91.7 billion. Why? Well, L'Oreal. Eugene Schuler founded the revolutionary cosmetics company all the way back in 1907. If you have to ask why they secretly rule the world, and you do not know the importance of having a good hair day. It could change the whole thing. Hair is everything. Lillian Bettencourt was a surviving heiress and owner of the company before she died at the age of 94 in 2017. She was the richest woman in the world at the time. Francoise Bettencourt Myers is the granddaughter of the founder who continues a rich legacy. She profits from the 33% stock in the company and now serves as the heiress to the fortune. In between revolutionizing the hair game, the family continues to support French progress in the sciences and the arts. They also donated $226 million to help repair the Notre Dame after the massive fire, if you recall. So, yeah, they have a lot of money. People love their hair. What a world. Number 7, the Buffetts. When you think of the stock image of an incredibly rich man, Warren Buffett is probably not far off. But honestly, I hope this guy in part rules the world because he seems to actually be doing some good. Known as the Oracle of Omaha, Buffett is one of the most successful investors of all time. He currently runs Berkshire Hathaway, which owns over 60 companies, including Geico, Duracell, Dairy Queen, batteries, ice cream, insurance, what more could you want? His current net worth is $100.8 billion. Considering he bought his first stock at 11 and filed taxes at age 13, pretty good. Pretty good, Buffett, but despite his massive wealth, he actually isn't a big fan of dynastic living. He believes his money would be best given to the world rather than his kids. What? That's nuts. That's not to say his kids aren't already well off, but Buffett has promised to donate 99% of his wealth. So far, he has given over $45 billion away to his sons and the Bill Gates Foundation, which I'm kinda like, does that count? Maybe. But Bill Gates and Buffett launched the Giving Pledge, asking billionaires to commit to donating at least half of their wealth to charitable causes. So if he does have a hand in the world, I hope this isn't lies. Probably is. But you know, good guy Buffett. Good guy Buffett. Number 6, the Albrecht family. Historically secretive, the Albrecht family is known for their ownership of Aldi and Trader Joe's. As for their personal lives today, there isn't a lot known, though their humble beginnings are quite touching in a way. After World War II, Theo and Karl Albrecht found their mother's old corner store still standing in Germany. So they not only brought it back to life, they gave it an entirely new one. They transformed it into the massive Aldi international grocery chain, earning a net worth of over $53.5 billion. In 2013, Aldi made over $13 billion in the US alone. In 1979, the family trust purchased Trader Joe's, which added immensely to their capital. After all, who else can eat their weight in organic almond butter? Though a fair amount is known about their business life, the Albrechts keep their family life hidden away. They don't speak to the press or attend store openings. They almost sound like the Willy Wonka of grocery store chains. They don't own any vacation homes, private jets, yachts, and only keep a couple €1,000 in their bank account. So what are they doing with the rest of their money? We don't know. They elect to live secluded either to hide themselves or to hide something darker. Or it could just be that they just don't want to deal with the paparazzi. I wouldn't want to either, personally. Number 5, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Okay, technically not a family. I get it. But they might as well be. They're bros. Because why? Google. I debated just saying that one word and just leaving it there because, well, Google. You know? Don't know who they are? Google it. Who doesn't use Google at least a dozen times a day? I literally couldn't do this job without Google. So no, they aren't old money, they're not a family, but they have families. But they were two guys who started a legacy that changed the world forever. Page, valued at $91.5 billion, and Brin, valued at $89.5 billion, started Google in 1998 and have since kept a pretty low profile. The two met at Stanford University while studying for their PhDs in computer science. They wanted to find a way to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible, and that they did, but maybe too well. Google was recently under fire in Australia as criticisms called out Google for playing a role in weakening the media. As someone who uses this stuff every day to do this stuff, I gotta say they are kind of right. More often than not, the fastest, not the truest information is available first and foremost. I mean, consider how many videos we pump out a day. It's crazy. But if you do want to know more about how these two have a hand in the world, well, I don't know. Google it. Number 4, the Koch family. A couple of you commented as to why the Koch family wasn't on here. Well, that's because I was saving them for part 2. Maybe. Fred C. Koch started America's largest private company when he co-founded the Wood River Oil and Refining Company in 1940, which would later become Koch Industries. Then it was just a bunch of nepotism after that, though there was a power struggle between the brothers Frederick and Bill. Their stakes were bought for over $800 million in 1983. Fred Koch's son, Charles, still remains the head of the industries today. There is, of course, controversy over how the business began, specifically to do with the Soviet and German powers at the time. That's right. The Koch family business is entrenched in what was the Third Reich. They built a refinery to fuel German warplanes during World War II. Even worse, Charles Koch, Fred's son, financed publications of Holocaust denial literature during the 1960s and 80s. I wonder why he would want to do that. Fred Koch also did dealings with Stalin, although after his experience with that guy, he was totally anti-communist. Makes sense. It seems the Kochs began with a mind for business over humanity. The question is, with that much accumulated wealth today, are they still willing to deal with anyone no matter the cost of human life? Or do they just want to make a buck? I don't know. Number 3, Bill Gates. Good guy, Bill Gates. The man teens refer to when they are trying to convince their parents it's a good idea to drop out of college or high school. Gates was actually an excellent student. He worked hard, exceeded in every subject, but when he got to Harvard, the only reason he dropped out was because he could pursue a business with his partner, Paul Allen, to build Microsoft. Yeah, that's right. The Microsoft. His venture worked out, and between 1995 and 2008, Bill was the richest man in the world. Unlike some other suspicious members on this list, Gates may actually be ruling the world with some kind of kindness behind him. He stepped down as chairman of Microsoft in 2014 to work on more charitable efforts through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and as I mentioned before, the thing with Warren Buffett. Yeah, if he does rule the world, I'm not cool about it, but I'm optimistic. Number 2, Elon Musk. Okay, of course Elon Musk is gonna be on this list, especially since you know he's a dad now, so technically that's a family. And he's also got like 6 kids from another marriage, a whole bunch of stuff. So it's a family now. It's a family. While Musk himself is one of the wealthiest people in the world, I think he's the second on the Forbes list, his family didn't start that way. In fact, his mother at one point had to work 5 jobs just to support him. Even though Mae Musk is now known as the oldest woman to star in the CoverGirl campaign, she was actually struggling for a long time. When Elon was just 10, he taught himself how to code, and from there grew into the founder of Zip2, PayPal, SpaceX, and is now the CEO of Tesla today. Since March 2020, his fortune jumped by 514%. I wish my bank account would jump that high. Oh my god, do you know how much that is? That's $126.4 billion. When humanity begins to live in space, you can almost guarantee that Elon Musk is going to have some part of his name on that ship. His company, SpaceX, has already made massive steps towards space travel, including his BFR, translation, Big Falcon rocket. It is supposed to be a 31-engine rocket capable of carrying 100 people to space, a part of his goal to get humanity to Mars. Not only is he absolutely loaded, but Musk's legacy may very well have a hand in the survival of the human race beyond the planet Earth. So never mind ruling the world, this man could rule the stars. Coming in at number 1, Jeffrey Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos. The Bezos family is easily becoming, if it hasn't already, a new legacy, with Jeffrey Bezos at the helm. Though he was married prior to 2019, even his ex-wife Mackenzie Scott has a net worth of over $57 billion from her stakes in the Amazon company, which I think is just like 4%. Bezos has 16% stake in his entire company, and he's the richest man in the world. That just goes to show how crazy successful Amazon is. Bezos founded the e-commerce giant Amazon in 1994, which started out as an online bookstore. Now it is the go-to place to get that thing you're not sure you need, but buy anyways at 3 AM so you can have it the next day. Yeah. It boomed throughout the pandemic, growing by 38% in revenues in 2020 because everyone was stuck at home. Where were they gonna do their shopping or get their Christmas presents? The company earned $386 billion in revenues that year. Though he did say he would give $100 billion to feed America, the Amazon company came under scrutiny during the pandemic for its poor treatment of their warehouse workers. On top of being a master of e-commerce, Bezos now owns the Washington Post and Blue Origin, an aerospace company developing commercial use rockets, so kind of like Musk. As we know from the previous video, you control a part of the media, you control a part of the world. So honestly, considering how popular Amazon is, he's got us hook, line, and sinker. And that was our video for today, guys. If you want to see another one, there's probably some more rich people out there. We'll find them. We'll find them. I've been your host, Raechel Fisher. If you like this video, you know what to do. Until next time, take care.